Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9. Prahlad pacifies Lord Narasimha with prayers. So far we read the prayers of the different personalities, Lord Brahma, Siva, Indra, Yakshas, Pitras, etc. Now this whole chapter is basically prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee. So let's read the summary. It's a pretty long summary, so we'll read. As related in this chapter, Prahlad Maharaj, following the order of Lord Brahma, pacified the Lord when the Lord was extremely angry after having killed Hiranyakashipu. After Hiranyakashipu was killed, the Lord continued to be very angry, and the demigods headed by Lord Brahma could not pacify him. Even Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the constant companion of Narayana, could not dare come before Lord Narasimha. Then Lord Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj to go forward and pacify the Lord's anger. Prahlad Maharaj, being confident of the affection of his master, Lord Narasimha, was not at all afraid. He very gravely appeared before the Lord's lotus feet and offered him respectful obeisance. Lord Narasimha, being very much affectionate toward Prahlad Maharaj, put his hand on Prahlad's head, and because being personally touched by the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj immediately achieved Brahma Jnana, spiritual knowledge. Thus he offered his prayers to the Lord in full spiritual knowledge and full devotional ecstasy. The instructions given by Prahlad Maharaj in the form of his prayers are as follows. Prahlad said, I am not proud of being able to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I simply take shelter of the mercy of the Lord, for without devotion one cannot appease him. One cannot please the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by dint of high parentage or great opulence, learning, austerity, penance, or mystic power. Indeed, these are never pleasing to the Lord, for nothing can please him but pure devotional service. Even if a non-devotee is a Brahmana qualified with the 12 Brahmanical symptoms, he cannot be very dear to the Lord, whereas if a person born in the family of dog-eater is a devotee, the Lord can accept his prayers. The Lord does not need anyone's prayers, but if a devotee offers the prayers to the Supreme Lord, the devotee benefits greatly. Ignorant persons born in low families, therefore, can sincerely offer heartfelt prayers to the Lord, and the Lord will accept them. As soon as one offers his prayers to the Lord, he is immediately situated on the platform of Brahman. So Not going in too much detail because we will studying all these in the verses itself, but couple of points which really struck me, that Lord kindly embraced or touched his hand upon Prahlad, and he became in complete spiritual knowledge and offered wonderful prayers. And the Lord likes the devotee's prayers, even though the devotee may be born in a very low family. So the external things don't matter. High parentage, wealth, knowledge, all these things are secondary. What is the primary thing is devotion. Only devotion. Without devotion, one cannot appease him. And one may say, well, is the Lord hungry for one's prayers? The answer is no. The Lord is not hungry. But if a devotee offers the prayers, the devotee benefits it greatly. So whatever we are doing, offering any service, bhoga, patram, pushpam, phala, it's not that the Lord needs it. Yes, the Lord likes it, but it is primarily we are getting a lot of spiritual mercy by doing those prayers, by doing those services. So the devotee gets the main mercy by offering service to the Lord, as Prahlad Maharaj is offering prayers. So let's continue. Would someone like to read the next one or two paragraphs?
Hare Krishna. Nandaswanam, I can read Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Lord Narasimha Deva appeared for the benefit of all human society, not only for Prahlad's personal benefit. The fierce form of Lord Narasimha Deva may appear most awful to a non-devotee, but to the devotee, the Lord is always affectionate, as he is in other forms. Conditioned life in the material world is actually extremely fearful. Indeed, a devotee is not afraid of anything else. Fear of material existence is due to false ego. Therefore, the ultimate goal of life for every living entity is to attain the position of being servant of the Lord. The miserable condition of the living entities in the material world can be remedied only by the mercy of the Lord. Although there are so-called material protectors like Lord Brahma and the other demigods, or even one's own father, they are unable to do anything if one is neglected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one who has fully taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet can be saved from the onslaught of material nature. Therefore, every living entity should be unattracted by material so-called happiness and should take shelter of the Lord by all means. That is the mission of human life. To be attracted by sense gratification is simply foolish. Whether one is a devotee of the Lord or is a non-devotee does not depend upon one's birth in a high or low family. Even Lord Brahma and the goddess of fortune cannot achieve the full favor of the Lord, whereas a devotee can very easily attain such devotional service. The Lord's mercy is bestowed equally upon everyone, regardless of whether one is high or low. Because Prahlad Maharaja was blessed by Narad Muni, Prahlada became a great devotee. The Lord always saves the devotee from impersonalists and voidists. The Lord is present in everyone's heart as a super soul to give the living beings protection and all benefits. Thus the Lord acts sometimes as the killer and sometimes as a protector. One should not accuse the Lord for any discrepancies. It is his plan that we see varieties of life within this material world. All of them are ultimately his mercy. Although the entire cosmic manifestation is non-different, the material world is nonetheless different from the spiritual world. Only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord can one understand how the wonderful material nature acts. For example, although Lord Brahma appeared from the lotus feet that had grown from the abdomen of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he could not understand what to do after his appearance. He was attacked by two demons, Madhu and Kaitava, who took away Vedic knowledge. But the Lord killed them and entrusted to Lord Brahma the Vedic knowledge. Thus the Lord appears in every millennium in the societies of demigods, human beings, animals, saints, and aquatics. All such incarnations are meant to protect the devotees and kill the demons. But his killing and protecting does not reflect any sense of partiality. on the part of the Supreme Lord. The conditioned soul is always attracted by external energy. Therefore, he is subject to lust and greed, and he suffers under the conditions of material nature. The Lord's causeless mercy towards his devotee is the only means by which to get out of material existence. Anyone engaged in glorifying the Lord's activities is always unafraid of this material world, whereas one who cannot glorify the Lord in that way is subjected to all lamentation. Hari Bol. So, a wonderful summary of a wonderful chapter coming forward. So they say that we cannot, dance in a kirtan with our hands held high if we are carrying the baggage. So similarly, we cannot glorify the Lord if we are subjected to lamentation. If we are non-devotees, if we don't have complete faith, then we cannot glorify Lord. But if we can glorify the Lord, then we are not afraid of this material world. And it also says many important points. How Lord Brahma was attacked by Madhu and Kaitaba, and how he was unable to understand what to do in the beginning. But Prahlad knew what to do. And then that also discusses about how Lord is impartial. That has been the most important point in the 7th canto. The beginning is that, is the Lord partial or not partial? And one last point, because this is again summary of summary. So the Lord appears. This Lord Narasimhadeva's appearance is so appeasing to the devotee and so fearsome to the demons. And by taking shelter, a devotee becomes fearless. And although there are so-called material protectors like Lord Brahma, they don't even, they are like that. In the fight, it is said that there's a Hiranyakashipu who was like a tiny bit in front of Lord Narasimhadev, and he would disappear like a small fly, small insect going into the fire. So what to speak of Lord Narasimha's glory. And then again it says, one who has fully taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet can be saved from the onslaught of material nature. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Ekant Prabhu, you want to read the rest of the summary?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, it starts at those interested in silently worship, right, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dev. Those interested in silently worshipping the Lord in solitary places may be eligible for liberation themselves, but a pure devotee is always aggrieved to see others suffering. Therefore, not caring for his own liberation, he always engages in preaching by glorifying the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj, therefore, had tried to deliver his class friends by preaching and had never remained silent. Although being silent, observing austerities and penances, learning the Vedic literature, undergoing ritualistic ceremonies, living in a solitary place, and performing japa and transcendental meditation are approved means of liberation. They are meant for non-devotees or for cheaters who want to live at the expense of others. A pure devotee, however, being free from all such deceptive activities, is able to see the Lord face to face. The atomic theory of the composition of the cosmic manifestation is not factual. The Lord is the cause of everything, and therefore He is the cause of this creation. One should therefore always engage in devotional service by offering respectful obeisances to the Lord, offering prayers, working for the Lord, worshipping the Lord in the temple, always remembering the Lord, and always hearing about His transcendental activities. Without these 6 kinds of activities, one cannot attain to devotional service. Prabhu, can I stop here, Prabhu?
Just 2 more lines, Prabhu.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Prahlad Maharaj thus offered his prayers to Supreme Lord, begging his mercy at every step. Lord Narasimha was pacified by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and wanted to give him benedictions by which Prahlad could procure all kinds of material facilities. Prahlad Maharaj, however, was not misled by the material facilities. Rather, he wanted to remain always a servant of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much. So this section of the summary emphasizing on the preaching activities, because a pure devotee cannot see the suffering of others, so much compassion a pure soul has in his or her heart, like how Prabhupada could not see the suffering, and as a result he came on the order of his Guru to US to preach this message of Krishna consciousness. So preaching is emphasized here. Prahlad Maharaj showed by his example. And ekantiki bhajan, solitary bhajan, is not recommended because we are not, that's not the mission or the mood of our parampara, of Lord Chaitanya, of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of the Shad Goswamis, of Srila Prabhupada. That's not the mood. The mood is to take association of devotees, read, hear in their association, do service, and share the message as far as possible. Again, focusing on the different limbs of bhakti, and finally the Lord says, "What can I do for you?" Said, "No, I'm not doing business." Didn't ask for any material facilities. So let's start the wonderful chapter. It's a very important chapter. A lot of instructions for sadhakas, a lot of important verses. So let's start with text number 1. Would someone like to read this verse?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Sri Narada Uvacha Ebham Suradhaya Sarve Brahma Rudra Pura Saram Nupaitam Asakan Manayu Samarambham Sudur Sadam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Joy Srila Prabhupada. The great saint Narad Muni continued, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Siva and other demigods dared not come forward before the Lord, who at the time was extremely angry. Purport. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung in his Prema Bhakti Chandrika, Krodha Bhakta Desi Jane, anger should be used to punish a demon who is envious of devotees. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsurya, lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride and envy all have their proper use for the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee. A devotee of the Lord cannot tolerate blasphemy of the Lord or his other devotees, and the Lord also cannot tolerate blasphemy of a devotee. Thus, Lord Narasimha was so very angry that the great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Siva and even the goddess of fortune, who is the Lord's constant companion, could not pacify him, even after offering prayers of the glorification and praise. No one was able to pacify the Lord in his anger. But because the Lord was willing to exhibit his affection for Prahlad Maharaj, all the demigods and the others present before the Lord pushed Prahlad Maharaj forward to pacify him. Hari Bol. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So Narad Muni is narrating the story to Yudhishthira Maharaj, who asked these questions in chapter 1 we studied, so we are at chapter 9. First, everyone offered prayers. We have read that, Lord Brahma, Shiva, etc. But the Lord was still angry. And to pacify the Lord, everyone, including Brahma, Shiva, they couldn't come forward, but they thought that let's push this dearmost devotee for whom the Lord has personally appeared to pacify the Lord. So that's a great sign of Vaishnava qualities, that a Vaishnava always wants to push others close to the Lord. In material life, everyone wants to push himself forward. Oh, I am better than you. Oh, I am better than you. Oh, I did this work. Oh, I did that work. I am more important. But in bhakti, in the famous scripture, actually I was hearing just today before the class, in the Bhagavatam, the whole story is that how everyone is saying, like, oh, he's better devotee than me. Prahlad is saying, no, look at Hanuman, he did so much service. Hanuman says, hey, I am just the servant. See, now Lord Ram is gone. Pandavas are better than me. Pandavas saying, no, what, we are better. Uddhava is better than me. Uddhava is saying, no, Gopis are better than me. Like that, everyone is saying, no, Uddhava is better than me. That's non-enviousness. When we feel happy in others' happiness, when we feel happy, oh, other person is getting more spiritual mercy, we feel happy. In the material side, one will feel envious to see, oh, others got promotion, I didn't get promotion. One will feel envious. Oh, others get some benefit, I didn't get that. Envy. But in spiritual life, what will please the Lord the most, that is the only intention. So they knew that at this point the Lord will be very pleased to see his devotee, so they wanted to bring him forward. And Prabhupada mentions that how each and every aspect can be used in Krishna's service. So blasphemy of others must not be tolerated. Krodha bhakta dveshi jani. If someone is speaking, criticizing Vaishnavas or harming Vaishnavas or hurting Vaishnavas, there are a lot of stories in this regard. Even if one is tolerating like that, it's not good. One is part of the same crime. So same with envy or krodha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha. All these vices in their pure state can be used in Krishna service. Lust we can convert into love. Lust is towards desire to enjoy one's own senses, but the same lust, when transformed to serve Krishna's senses, becomes love. Same greed, the greed to get lot of name, fame, recognition, money, or any other material desire, lalach, that can be converted to become greedy towards holy name. There's a famous verse in actually Padyavali that a greedy person counts money or bank balance. Similarly, a spiritually greedy person counts his mala. Oh, I'm doing more mala. Oh, I can chant more. Oh, I have 5 minutes. Let me chant some more, or read more, or hear more, or serve more. Greedy for that kind of utsaha. That kind of greediness is good. Same with any other thing. One can say, oh, how can I give up envy? Or how can I use envy in Krishna's service? Envy can be used in Krishna's service by giving it up, to become nirmatsarana, to become anusuya, so that we can become the right recipient to receive spiritual knowledge. So in short, all these mentioning here can be used in Krishna's service, and Prahlad Maharaj was pushed forward so that the Lord can be pacified. Any other comments questions anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Danda. There's one small trick. Sachinandan Swami's seminar, Japa retreat, when somebody said, just say Hare Kitna. Like how many times have I chanted today? Because that something is really powerful for us. And second was, somebody was counting the money. We never, we want more and more. So we always count the money correctly. So it's very, that way one can tell to count our rounds also correctly. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing those points. Anyone else before we move on? Okay, let's read the text number 2. Would someone like to read this, please? Umesh Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat to everyone. Text number 2. Sakshat Sri Preshita Deve Drushtavatam Mahadrutam Adrushtashuta Purvatvata Sanopeyaya Shankita. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The goddess of fortune Lakshmi was requested to go before the Lord by all the demigods present, who because of fear could not do so. But even she had never seen such a wonderful and extraordinary form of Lord, and thus she could not approach him. Purport. The Lord has unlimited forms and bodily features. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. These are all situated in Vaikuntha. Yet, Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, being inspired by Leela Shakti, could not appreciate this unprecedented form of the Lord. In this regard, Srila Madhavacharya recites the following verses from Brahmanda Purana. Adrushta Purvatvad Anne Sadharanarjirne Rusiham Shankiteva Trilok Mohya Yano Yayo Prahladichaiva Vasyalya Darshanaya Harerapi Nyatva Manastatha Brahma Prahladam Preshayata Tada Ekatraikasya Vastalyam Yashopada Darshayedadhari Avarasyapi Mohaya Tramemaivapi Vasyalya. In other words, for the common man, the form of the Lord as a Narasimha is certainly unseen and wonderful. But for a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, such a fearsome form of the Lord is not at all extraordinary. By the grace of the Lord, a devotee can very easily understand how the Lord can appear in any form he likes. Therefore, the devotee is never afraid of such a form because of the special favor bestowed upon Prahlad Maharaj. He remained silent and unafraid, even though all the demigods, including even Lakshmi Devi, were afraid of Lord Narasimha. Narayana Para Sarvana Kutaschena Vibhetya. Bhagavatam 6.17.28. Not only the pure devotee of Narayana like Prahlad Maharaj unafraid of any dangerous condition of material life, but also if the Lord appears in order to mitigate the fear of devotee, that's the status of the fearlessness in all circumstances. So here, continuing with the Narad Muni is narrating that then when they saw the Lord Narasimhadeva's anger, and everybody is kind of not willing to take charge here. And even the goddess Lakshmi Devi was supposed to go, but she could not do it. That's what has been stated here. And Prabhupada ji is saying that the devotee who can maintain his status, fearfulness, if he is a complete like a devotee like a Prahlad Maharaj, because so that is what the common this form not everybody has seen before, looks like that, and that is what everybody was wondering how dangerous is this form, and everybody is probably trying to imagine what is going on here. But the great devotee like Prahlad Maharaj is very silent and unafraid, and trying to approach here Narasimha. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Adrishta ashruta purvatvat. So even Lakshmi ji had not seen or heard adrishta ashruta. Never seen, never heard about this form. So ferocious. He said, "Oh, I don't recognize this form." So even she didn't approach. That's the because they all want Prahlad Maharaj to go, as we read in the previous verse. Any other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Bhadra. Dandavata everybody. The Acharyas have the different comments about this, because some Acharya says that although she had seen Narasimha in a previous kalpa, and though Narasimha is always present in Vaikuntha, the impression of not having previously seen or heard about this form was produced by the Leela Shakti. Krishna has a different Shakti, right? And this Leela Shakti had made her forget, as if she has not seen the form before, because she has seen this form in previous kalpa. And she knows that Narasimha is present in the Vaikuntha, yeah. Because of the Krishna Leela Shakti had make her think that she has not seen the form. And why is that? Because there are different rasas, as you know. And this one is the Adbhut rasa, mood of astonishment. In order to make everyone taste Adbhut rasa, the mood of astonishment. So that's a point here, that and it's important that otherwise Lakshmi, I mean, of course, she has seen this form before, but Leela Shakti is making this happen so that people can become, everybody can astonish. And of course, ultimately, Lord wants to have the Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport that because of the special favor bestowed upon Prahlad Maharaj, he remains silent and not afraid. That is the most important point. Prahlad Maharaj is the unmotivated, uninterpreted service, devotional service that Prahlad Maharaj has done in the Vatsalya Rasa. He is considered Narasimha Lord as his father. So he is completely in that mood, and there is a special favor, and that's why devotee, when the Lord is coming in different forms, then the devotee is not afraid of that, and devotee understand that my Lord can come in any form to protect me. So that's the point, one of the points. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Okay, text number 3. Would someone like to read, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. I can read.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text number 3. Praharadam praseyam asa brahmavas hitam antike tata prasametyo pahi swapitre kupitam prabhum. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, Lord Brahma requested Prahlad Maharaj, who was standing very near him, "My dear son, Lord Narasimha Deva, he is extremely angry at your demonic father. Please go forward and appease the Lord." Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Beautiful, verse here. So, as we see, even Lord Mother Lakshmi also, Goddess Lakshmi, was little afraid, and of course this is all Leela, the arrangement of the Lord. So Lord Brahma requested Prahlad Maharaj, and generally, kids are very, very, charming, and since here, the Lord of the Lord actually came down just to have his relationship with Prahlad Maharaj. So Brahmaji actually requested Prahlad Maharaj to pacify Lord Narasimha Dev. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you, please. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Anyone has any more comments in this text?
Yeah, this is Bhadra again. I mean, it's very surprising in a one sense. See, even here is Lord Brahma, who is the secondary creator, and he is called the father of the universe practically, and all the demigods is there, and here is it's. I hope I haven't read further section, but I hope why Lord Brahma is telling him to do it. I mean, Prahlad Maharaj is a little boy, considering Lord Brahma and Indra and all the demigods are there, and even Lakshmi is there, who is the consort of Lord Narasimha. And she doesn't go, she doesn't want to go, Lord Brahma doesn't want to go, and here Lord Brahma is telling the little boy to go. I mean, that's it's like a situation where you have the Srila Prabhupada is there, let's say, or Lord Krishna is there, and Prabhupada, and there are all the senior devotees are there, all the senior Vaishnava, all the GBCs or whatever, they are there. And suddenly they tell to little boy to go and give the garland to this Srila Prabhupada. And of course, Srila Prabhupada is not in angry mood, and here is Lord Narasimha who is in angry mood. And Lord Brahma tells the little boy to go. I mean that says something. And I hope I haven't read this chapter, but I hope I hope there will be some explanation. Unless Subhavilas, if you read the further, then if you have something, then share it, because this is surprise. This is never heard of it. Of course, we know Brahma and demigod, they are Sakam Bhaktas, as mentioned in the previous verses. Read that. There's that Bhakti is mixed with. But still, I mean, Lord Brahma is the head, secondary creator. And they offer prayers from the distance. When it comes to, they don't want to go near him. So that means even though, and I'm sorry taking much time, but this is psychologically to understand. It's important. So even though they have offered the prayers to Lord Narasimha, Lord Narasimha has heard the prayers, but still they are still seeing. That means Brahma and they all are still seeing Lord Narasimha is still in angry form. That means Lord is not pacified completely by the prayers of these demigods, of Kainaraj and Gandharvas, and we read in the previous last chapter, isn't it? And then here they are telling Prahlad Maharaj to go. And that is, I can say one thing is that is the glorious position. Srila Prabhupada, of course, in the previous verse mentioned in the purport that Prahlad Maharaj was especially favored by Lord Narasimha there. And that's why he remained silent and unafraid. That's understood. So Lord, one thing can be said here that means Lord Brahma is seeing at that time when nobody wants to go. Lakshmi doesn't want to go. Then Lord Brahma is seeing here the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. That's one reason can be. He's seeing that here this little boy, he's silent. He's unafraid. Lord Brahma is seeing. Because Lord Brahma can see. I mean, you see that the mood, and he is seeing here Prahlad to be a great personality who's not afraid, he's just silent. He just gone through all this anyhow before by his father tried to kill him. So that could be one of the reason here that Lord Brahma is seeing that Prahlad Maharaj is the right person to have go to Lord Narasimha. Thank you. I'm sorry taking so much time, but this is important to see the psychology and understand how this taking the shape of the Srimad Bhagavatam, one point after another point after that. Thank you. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Anyone has any more comments or questions?
In Vedic civilization, in our families, we grow up with women not talking in front of grandfather. My mom didn't talk, but she would always ask us to go and talk to them or father. And this principle is applied, what Bhadra Prabhu is saying, just put the small child forward, and it also reduces a lot of stress in the families. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else before we stop for today?
Prabhuji, one question about Brahma. So we know our Sampradaya is Brahma Sampradaya, but we also say about some of the shortcomings and bewilderment of Brahma. How can we understand without criticizing our parampara?
Yeah, actually, Brahmaji we don't consider in the category of Sakam Bhakta because he is like the 12 Mahajans, Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu. Swayambhu is Brahma. So, yes, he is certainly a great Acharya and a pure devotee of the Lord. Other demigods, yes. When we read that story of Lord Brahma running after, his daughter, Prabhupada clearly mentioned that we should not consider Brahma as an ordinary jiva running after, opposite sex. If one thinks like that, actually one will fall down. But rather one should think like Brahmaji is doing this drama to teach us a lesson. So that should be our mood of understanding. And of course, Brahmaji is among the 12 Mahajans. So we should always remember that piece, and he's not a Sakam Bhakta. Does that make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. And he wrote the Brahma Samhita, which is so full of nectar and bhakti.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Anyone wants to add or anything before we stop today?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you for making that correction. Yes, Brahma is one of the Mahajan. And you mentioned that Brahma, the pastime about this running behind his daughter is something, is not, all these pastimes is happening on the higher planets above, is beyond, sometimes beyond our little brain to understand. Okay. But all these pastimes are giving us a lesson, as you mentioned. It's like we will read in the 10th canto of the Brahma Vivahan Leela. Brahma is bewildered there, right? And he's bewildered and he's stealing all the cowherd boys and cows and the calves. This is Krishna. He cannot even touch them. And of course, there is whole different pastime. There is no time to discuss all that pastime. Brahma cannot touch them. They are the Brajvasis. They are the Krishna's friend, spiritual personality. Brahma cannot touch them. But still Krishna is arranging them, arranging. So Krishna is actually, Brahma, when taking those boys, he's not taking actually the boys. He's not taking them. As Krishna is manifesting other boys, they're taking. Not the real boy, real boys, real cows and real calves. He's not taking them. So that's why in that pastime there are three sets of the cowherd boys. Anyhow, that's the. So yeah, but still, ultimately, the point is that Krishna is showing that how he can come in any form, Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantana Rupam, and he can, and that sometimes even the demigods are bewildered, but that is Krishna want to perform his pastimes to show us, and not that Krishna is proud to show, no, but he wants to give us that pleasure. He wants to give the pleasure to his devotees by performing these different pastimes. So yes, Brahma is his higher personality. He's secondary creator. There is no question of him. Myself criticize, even I cannot even criticize Indra. I mean, they are higher personalities. They are devotees ultimately. And Brahma, Shiva's position is even higher. So that's the point. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we will continue tomorrow with the next verse. We'll stop here. Shri Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.